Hi, my name is Mike, and I live in Los Angeles. Um, that is all. What inspires me to teach is I love learning. I think I always loved learning and reading, and I always wanted to be a teacher. It seemed like a really good way to be productive while not destroying the world, which is good. So yeah, I came to LA to get my PhD in French and Francophone studies. I wanted to become a professor, so I was going to UCLA and I was teaching at UCLA, and I did that for 2 years. And I decided I didn't really want to do all of the research that is required as a professor. I just wanted to teach. So yeah, essentially that's led me to here. I'm working with a private school. I've been working there part-time as a kindergarten teacher. They want me to become a full-time instructor for the preschoolers as well. So now I'm in this class. My favorite part of teaching is the students are incredible. I think young people are so brave and just completely, they're not fearless, but they're brave despite their fears. And they are creative and just unbelievably imaginative, and it's really inspiring how open they are to acclimating new information, assimilating, to assimilating new information, and yeah, all of that. They're hilarious, also. They're so funny. How many courses with UCLA Extension? This is my first one, but as I said, I had been a graduate student for 2 years and a teacher at UCLA as well. So it's nice to be back in a way. What I hope to gain? I hope to gain just, I guess, a little more ethos when it comes to early childhood education. Everything I've learned working part-time at this private school has been experiential from the director there. I work with her, and she's been teaching me, and I'm looking forward to getting more of a historical and theoretical and I guess cognitive understanding of why we do what we do. And was I familiar with California preschool learning frameworks and preschool learning foundations? No, I wasn't with the preschool foundations and frameworks. And there's a lot there. There's a lot there. I want to go through them more. Those, I looked at volume one and then the other. Sorry, I looked at like the volume one and then the framework or the foundation. I don't remember which was which, but they reminded me a lot of Common Core, which we do work with a lot. I mean, we refer to Common Core a lot as teachers in the kindergarten. It reminded me of that looking at the diagrams that they had, where they would say like at 48 months and then at 60 months, sort of generally where a child should be or could be expected to be or should be expected to be, etc. I really love those sort of milestones because they're such a great reference point to see, if there's anything that needs to be tightened up or if there's anything that you're missing. It's great to have those to refer back to and to know that, you're on the right track. And yeah, I really want to look at it more, to be honest. And I think I will. And then 2 points from chapter 1 that I thought were worth sharing and discussing. Someone else had brought this up already, but I thought it was hilarious and so just kind of mind-blowing to think about. In ancient Greece, it was, I believe, where a 7-year-old was seen as essentially a small adult. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine that. But it made me think actually of a lot of people I talk to now about childhood or about kids. It seems as though they're almost bewildered with kids, and because of their, I guess, lack of understanding, they completely dismiss children, or they see them as not worth serious consideration. It's kind of like two polar opposites. I felt like treating a 7-year-old as an adult or treating a 7-year-old as, you know, not worth any serious consideration. Yeah, I think kids they absolutely are worth all of the care that we have. And at the same time, I don't think of them as adults. Anyways, the second point I thought was interesting was how I believe it was in Rome, how the church essentially controlled the school. The first schools, as we would recognize them, were church controlled and church directed. I always think that's interesting to see sort of what the purpose is of an educational program, and how back in that system its purpose was essentially spiritual redemption. Yeah, it's just always something that I think is really worth considering is, what is the point? What is the purpose? And historically, to look back when they didn't have a scientific method or any sort of psychological or cognitive understanding of what was happening at those stages in life, to see what they were using this really powerful period in a human's life to do. And yeah, it sort of played into, it didn't play into, but I also thought it was interesting looking at the different cultures around the world and how their values were also sort of embedded in their educational systems. I think educational systems are a construct of time and culture, and to sort of investigate what are the underlying values and goals of those systems. It's a really interesting and valuable practice, and I'm so glad that we have the processes for discussing psychologically what is happening in a child's mind and in their whole body. I'm so glad that we have that, so that we can make sure that everything we're doing is in the best interest of the child, which I think is ultimately the only goal. Not the only goal, but I think it's a good goal. Anyways, I hope any of this made sense, and it's been nice watching all of your videos, so I hope this was interesting in some way. Yeah, look forward to discussing. Cheers.